The Grand Detour.
The living room, morning. The chaos of departure day. Open suitcases are scattered across the floor. Clothes are piled on the sofa. David is trying to zip a suitcase that is clearly too full.
Come on, you stubborn zipper. Cooperate with me. Just one more inch.
David, please tell me you are not packing the heavy winter coat. We are going to the sunny coast, not the North Pole.
You never know, Emma. Global warming causes unpredictable weather patterns. Plus, it doubles as a pillow if the hotel pillows are too soft.
Dad, seriously? My suitcase is literally bursting because you made me pack the emergency survival kit.
Safety first, Anna. You will thank me when we are stranded on a desert island.
Mom, I can't find my superhero cape. I cannot go on vacation without it. How will I save the city?
Peter, the city is safe for the weekend. Check under the pile of socks. David, what time is the train?
The train departs at 9 a.m. sharp. We have exactly 45 minutes to get to the station. We are making excellent time.
45 minutes? Google Maps says it takes 30 minutes to get there with zero traffic. It is Tuesday morning, Dad.
Have a little faith in your father's driving skills. Everyone, grab a bag. Move, move, move.
The family scrambles. They grab handles, backpacks, and pillows. They rush out the front door. Inside the car, highway. The car is moving fast. The atmosphere is tense. Emma is checking her pockets and looking around the seat. Wait.
No waiting. We are on a schedule. The train waits for no man.
David, stop the car. Or at least slow down. Where is the blue tote bag?
I thought Peter had it.
I am holding my cape and my rock collection. I do not have the blue bag.
Oh no. It is sitting on the kitchen counter. It has the snacks, the sunscreen, and my wallet.
We cannot go back, Emma. If we turn around, we miss the train. I have the tickets on my phone. We will just have to survive without snacks.
My ID is in there, David.
You do not need a passport for a domestic train ride. We are pressing forward. Adventure awaits.
Mom, he's going to make us starve.
Nonsense. We'll buy food at the destination. Look, there's the station. Record time.
The train station, ticket counter. The family stands breathless in front of the departure board. It is crowded. David is swiping frantically on his phone.
Okay, here we are. Platform 4, the Coastal Express.
David, look at the board.
I'm looking. It says 9 a.m.
That says Westwood. We are going to Eastwood.
What? No, that's impossible. I distinctly remember selecting the East option.
Dad, your phone screen says Westwood. You booked tickets to the desert, not the beach.
Let me see that. Well, it appears there was a slight user interface error on the website.
Does the desert have an ocean? No, Peter. It has sand and misery. David, please tell me you bought refundable tickets.
The Saver Super Deal is strictly non-refundable. But look on the bright side. We have seats.
We are not going to the desert in the middle of July, David. It will be 100 degrees. We need a Plan D.
Plan B. I am the master of Plan B. Wait here.
David runs off toward a rental kiosk. Emma rubs her temples. The parking lot. 30 minutes later. David pulls up in a vehicle. It is not a car. It is a very old, very boxy, beige RV, recreational vehicle. It rumbles loudly.
Behold, the chariot of freedom.
You have got to be kidding me. A mobile home? David, we have never driven an RV.
It is just like a big car, Emma. Since we missed the train to the beach and we cannot go to the desert, I rented this. We will drive to the lake in the mountains. It is a camping trip now. I love it. It looks like a spaceship. That is the spirit, Peter. Hop in.
The family climbs inside. It is incredibly cramped. The ceiling is low. It smells like old cheese and sawdust in here. David, this space is tiny. There is barely room to sit.
It is cozy. It brings the family together, literally. Buckle up to the mountains.
The highway. Afternoon. The RV is vibrating as it moves down the highway. The noise is deafening. Anna is trying to find a Wi-Fi signal. Peter is bouncing on the small bench. Dad, there is zero service out here. I cannot even post a picture of this tragedy.
Disconnect, Anna. Look at nature. Look at the trees.
David, look at the dashboard. A little red light has been blinking for the last 10 miles.
That is just a suggestion light. It means the engine is working hard.
It looks like the fuel light. Did you check the gas tank before we left the rental place?
The guy said it was ready to go. That implies a full tank.
I am hungry. Since Mom left the snacks, can we eat the emergency survival kit? Not yet, soldier. Wait, did the engine just off?
The RV makes a loud sputtering noise. Clunk, sputter, wheeze. The vehicle begins to slow down rapidly.
Come on, old girl. Don't give up on me now.
We are running out of gas, aren't we?
We are simply conserving energy.
The RV rolls to a complete stop on the shoulder of a deserted road surrounded by dense forest. Silence falls over the cabin.
Great. We are stranded. No. This is part of the adventure. We will just hike to the nearest gas station. My GPS said there was a town nearby before the phone died.
Your phone is dead too?
I was using it for music.
The woods. Late afternoon. The family is walking through the forest. David is leading the way, holding an old compass he found in the RV's glove compartment.
Everyone stay close. According to this trusty compass, north is that way. The town should be just over this ridge.
Dad, the needle on that compass is spinning in circles. I think it is broken.
It is not broken. It is just highly sensitive to the magnetic fields of this majestic forest.
David, we have been walking for an hour. The sun is starting to go down. We need to go back to the RV.
We are almost there. I can feel civilization. My legs are tired, and I hear noises. Is that a bear?
It is probably just your stomach growling, Peter.
Okay. Let's take a quick break. We need to keep our energy up. Who has the basket?
I grabbed the picnic basket from the RV. It has some sandwiches I made from the leftovers.
Perfect. A picnic in the woods. See? It is romantic.
They find a relatively flat patch of grass under a large oak tree. Emma spreads out a small blanket. They sit down, exhausted. Okay, let's eat quickly and turn around. We need to get back to the road before dark. Emma opens the basket and hands out sandwiches. Peter takes a big bite.
Ow!
What is it, honey?
Something bit me.
Ew, Mom, look at the blanket.
What is happening?
Oh my goodness, ants, millions of them.
We are sitting on an anthill. Everyone up! Move!
The family jumps up, dancing and shaking their legs. The ants have swarmed the basket.
They are on my shoes. Get them off.
Forget the sandwiches, David. Run! They scramble away from the tree, breathless and scratching their ankles. A clearing on a hill. Evening. Disheveled, hungry, and tired, the family stumbles into a clearing at the top of a hill. They stop. They are out of breath.
Okay. Maybe the compass was slightly off. I admit it.
We are lost, David. We have no gas, no food, and we are covered in ant bites. This is officially the worst vacation ever.
I dropped my rock collection back there.
David sighs deeply. He looks defeated. He sits down on a large log.
I am sorry, everyone. I just wanted to give us a great trip. I messed up the tickets, I rented a smelly box, I ignored the gas gauge, and I led us into an ant ambush. I failed.
Emma looks at David. She sees how sad he looks. She sits down next to him and puts her arm around his shoulder. You didn't fail, David. You tried. It has certainly been memorable.
Well, I guess the ant dance was kind of funny. Dad looked like a disco dancer.
Yeah, Dad jumped so high. I was protecting the perimeter.
Look, Emma points toward the horizon. The sun is beginning to set. The sky is exploding with colors, purple, orange, and deep red. The view stretches over the entire valley, far better than any view from a hotel window.
Wow. We were supposed to hike up a mountain to see the sunrise tomorrow morning.
Well, we missed the sunrise, but we caught the sunset.
It looks like the sky is on fire.
Okay, I admit it. That is actually beautiful. Anna takes out her phone, even though there is no signal, and snaps a photo of the family sitting on the log, backlit by the golden light.
You know what? I think I see a road down there. Look, seeing those headlights?
That looks like the highway. We just walked in a big circle.
Which means the RV is right down there. And I bet that roadside assistance truck I saw earlier is patrolling.
Let's sit for 5 more minutes. It is nice to just sit still.
Agreed. Can we get pizza when we find the car? Peter, if we get out of this, I will buy you a pizza the size of a tractor tire.
I'll take that deal. Happy vacation, everyone.
Happy vacation.
The family sits together, watching the sun disappear behind the mountains, finally peaceful.
Great work today. Keep going. Every lesson helps you improve your English. I'm excited to see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fun lessons. Keep learning and see you again soon.